Houten, a town right in the middle of the Netherlands, with an eye for lifestyles, communities and residential atmospheres for more than 30 years. "50,000 inhabitants are living in the old village, the area created in the 70s and 80s, and the recently developed urban area on the south side of town. A town created through a unique cooperation between urban planners and developers, traffic experts and landscape architects. A town with an extraordinary traffic system, a lot of green belts and a carefully designed public space. Houten developed into a fully grown and exceptional town, but kept its village atmosphere. How did Houten cope with these contradictions? How did it develop from a small village with mostly potato and fruit farmers into a city with considerable social services and accessibility? Houten is the result of a substantial population growth in the 60s and 70s, which had to be accommodated in the vicinity of cities like Utrecht. The main idea was to start with the design of the public space for vulnerable elements. So instead of establishing the traffic infrastructure first, Houten began with the structure for green belts and paths for pedestrians and cyclists. In the 70s, this was a revolutionary concept. The residential structure consists of neighbourhoods of approximately 1,000 houses, situated around schools and parks. These quarters have an important sociological impact in stimulating social relations in these neighbourhoods. To improve accessibility and social security, Houten has chosen for a ring road around the residential area. This ring road is essential for separating car and bicycle traffic.
It's not holding back. It's all everyone has left. Letting it out, not letting it down. At least.
The ring road has an outspoken form, a kind of imaginary power, with earth walls covered with grass and trees. Like a real fortress, these walls separate car traffic from the residential areas. Office buildings and residential towers function as a gate to the residential areas. Within these fortress walls, cars are the guests in the cyclist streets.
Lose it all to lose everything.
Another advantage of the ring road is that it makes an unbroken green belt possible. A stretched green zone of parks connects the west side with the east side of town without being cut by a major traffic artery. This green zone is only being broken by the centre of Houten and the railway. It connects several residential areas with the centre of town and is an important link in the accessibility for cyclists to and fro the outskirts of Houten. As an alternative to car transport, commuters have access to railway connections with cities like Utrecht and Den Bosch. The centre of Houten consists of a shopping and administrative centre. Every day, thousands of pedestrians and cyclists pass through on their way to school or work. In the recently developed urban area in the south, this bicycle-friendly approach has been copied. The Rietplas is a recreational area within the recently developed part of Houten. Cycling routes connect this pond within the new residential areas. And again, cyclists and pedestrians have priority, while cars are guests. This approach creates unity between inhabitants and a relaxed atmosphere. A pentagon-shaped green belt called Vijfbal. Besides this green zone, Houten has chosen 4 architectonical influences with the characteristics of a village meadow as a starting point. Inhabitants of Houten use their bicycle in their daily commuter traffic. In the weekends, they enjoy the recreational cycle route starting in the centre and ending up in surrounding municipalities. Houten has grown from a town with a typical village atmosphere into one with a more urban character. So the willfulness of the inhabitants has contributed into a strong planning foundation that appears to be ideal for shaping a city. In future, Houten will keep on combining all the mentioned elements and remain a source of inspiration for many other cities. Houten, special in everyday life.